Good evening. This is the Planning Commission for City of Lockport for September 13th. Would everyone please rise for pledge of the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kathy, before we start, we have a change in the agenda sheet, just the second page signage. So it's on everyone's desk. Would you do the roll call, please?
You got it. Wheeler. Here. Garland.
Here.
Maloney.
Here.
Oxley.
Yes.
Peters.
Here.
Likens.
Here.
And Deskin.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from the August 9th meeting? So moved.
Second.
Wow, it's quick from that end. We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? Hearing none? Signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Public hearings, number 4, we have none tonight. New business. Kimberly, I think that's you.
Thank you, Chairman. There's one case on the agenda tonight, case number 2022-013. The applicant, Leonard McHenry, owner of Gas and Wash, has submitted a concept plan for a gas station development for the property located at the southwest corner of 143rd Street and Gauger Road. An aerial map is displayed. The subject property is zoned R2, single-family residential, in unincorporated Will County, and is comprised of 2 parcels totaling approximately 4.5 acres. Upon approval of the concept plan for a gas station and car wash, the property would need to be annexed and rezoned to C3 highway commercial. A gas station and car wash are both special uses within the C3 zoning district. The I-355 corridor master plan update identifies this land as an important component of the 143rd Street subarea. As the existing residential use develops in the surrounding area, these properties should be considered for redevelopment into non-residential uses that are compatible with light industrial. A gas station is a compatible use with the existing business centers. A concept plan is displayed on your monitor. The site plan shows a 6,500 square foot convenience store with a drive-through facility and a 4,900 square foot car wash with vehicle queuing. Fuel pumps for passenger vehicles are located on the north portion of the site, and truck fuel pumps and a separate truck drive are located on the south portion of the property. Detention basin is provided along the north property line along 143rd Street. Access from 143rd Street, which is within the Will County DOT jurisdiction, will be a right-in, right-out. Full access will be provided from Gauger Road on the south end of the site, which is also the exit from the truck islands, in addition to a right-in, right-out from Gauger Road for passenger vehicles. The parking area on the north is for the convenience store, which is intended for customers and passenger vehicles. Additional parking is also provided for the car wash, and employee parking areas provided in the truck drive area. Elevations are displayed. The first elevation is the convenience store elevation. Building elevations were submitted both for the car wash and the convenience store. The materials will meet the city's architectural design standards with more than 60% Class 1 materials. The buildings will be constructed of quick brick and limestone base. The convenience store has a pre-finished aluminum storefront system, and the car wash, which is displayed, is accented with a tower having a shingle roof on the east side. Engineering comments have been addressed. The fire district reviewed the concept plan, and the Northwest Homer Township Fire Prevention District has no comments at this time. However, the fire district will discuss fire sprinkler needs in the car wash building at the time of final development plans. Should the commission find the concept plan for the proposed fuel station development acceptable, the following motion is suggested. A motion to approve the concept plan for a gas and wash fuel station subject to the following conditions. 1, the applicant acknowledges that staff has completed a general review only of the concept plan and that a more detailed review will occur with submission of preliminary and final development plan. Staff comments at this time are general, intended to outline steps necessary if the project moves forward and to provide guidance and considerations for future submittals. 2, annexation and rezoning will be needed with final development plan. And 3, concept plan approvals are valid 1 year from the date of approval. Approval of a concept plan provides the applicant reasonable assurances to move forward with submission of a request to rezone and preliminary development plan. The preliminary development plan shall be in general conformance with an approved concept plan. This concludes staff's analysis, and the applicant's representative and legal team and design team are both here tonight to answer questions.
Thank you, Kimberly. This is not a public hearing, it's a concept plan. We have some residents in the audience. Anyone from the audience wish to speak? Any questions or concerns? Please come up, sir, and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Adler. I live at 15947 West 143rd Street, Homer Glen. I am the property exactly west of this proposed plan. I have just a couple concerns. One would be light pollution, if there's going to be any means of mitigating light pollution onto my property. A way of shielding some of the parking lot lights to keep the light on the proposed plan for the gas and wash. And a question, is there going to be a privacy fence put in to maybe, keep some of the noise on their side? 10, 12-foot fence. I don't know if anything's been proposed. I haven't seen anything. Those would be my 2 concerns I have.
Okay, thank you. We'll address all these at once if there's anyone else, sir.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else from the public wish to speak? Okay. Mr. Representative from Gas and Wash?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, please. Thank you. My name is Lyman Tiemann, T-I-E-M-A-N. I'm the attorney for Len McHenry, who is the applicant, and Mr. McHenry is the owner of Gas and Wash. And I'm here this evening accompanied by Brian Hertz, our civil engineer, and by Chris with the WT Group, who is our land planner and architect. So I was going to run through everything. Basically, Kimberly already covered it. I think if the best way to approach it on our end, I'd like to have our architect come up and talk about the lighting issue and any other questions that you guys may have, but we'll be happy to address any questions.
That'd be great.
Thank you. Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris Pakinowski. I'm the project architect with WT Group for Len McHenry and Gas and Wash. I'd like to first address the lighting pollution issue. The lights that we specify are first, they're LED lights, and they have specialty shields that direct the light downward in the specific manner, so there really isn't any glare going out on the site, and they're all shielded from all sides. So either they're integrated in the soffits for the canopies, or they're shielded down so that the lights actually go right down onto the ground in a specific manner. As far as sound is concerned, on the west side of the property, most of the sound comes from any of those vacuum stations, which are going to be blocked by the building itself with the car wash on that side, as well as any required landscaping that's already in that area. I would like to kind of talk a little bit briefly about some of the building aspects and the architectural design of the building. If you'd like, if you guys can switch over to the building, I'm not sure. Starting off with the convenience store, Gas and Wash likes to utilize high quality materials to kind of help add some benefit to the community The high-quality materials, as said before, was quick brick. That's a very quality material. That's a thicker material. It's a full-size block material, as well as a stone base, natural stone base. All this brings in that aspect of making it nice and clean on the property, looking good for customers as well as for the community itself. Along with the building itself, Gas and Wash likes to give back to the community in the aspect of safety within the forecourt or within that gas station area by utilizing a T canopy. That allows for a benefit for the customers that are at the gas pump to safely walk to and from the gas pump if there's inclement weather or anything like that. Those T-shaped canopies actually cost Gas and Wash a little bit more, but they like to utilize that to help alleviate some of those types of people running across or anything like that from the gas pumps. They also do like to bring in that brick material along in the canopy as well for the auto canopy specifically. So that is all cladded in the same brick as the convenience store. Moving along to the car wash itself, again, this is also masonry bearing materials. One of the other things to alleviate sound that's in there as well is we create a dry chamber at the end of the car wash. That chamber is meant to keep everything in there and keep it as warm as possible to also create an ability for the car to dry off a lot better than just having it open. This car wash is an express style car wash, so there's not just, it runs through, each car will run through, and there'll be multiple cars that can run through kind of simultaneously through that. Again, this is the same high quality material as the convenience store with all the same aluminum and storefront systems, as well as we use hollow core planks, which also alleviates any sound from inside of the car wash as well. And that's kind of the general gist of it. If anyone has any questions about the materials of the building itself, I'm here to answer.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
Just as of right now, is there like a berm there, or will that remain, to Mr. Adler's concern, on the west side of the property? I see that there's the 7-foot landscape setback, which is excellent. Is there anything currently there, or is there plans for anything to be there, whether it be landscaping, a fence, anything of that nature?
I'm gonna put that question to our civil engineer over here.
And we'll work with them on the landscape plan as we go into preliminary or final.
For sure.
My name is Brian Hertz from MG2A, the civil engineer for Gas and Wash. So, I mean, there's some areas there where we have an opportunity probably to do some berming, to build up some berms, particularly where that we have more than 7-foot setback from the lot line, because we got more width to work with and build the berm up. And that's something we like to do because we like to use topsoil where we can on our sites, try and keep it on the site rather than have to truck it away. So as we get into final engineering, we'll design that grading and we can show some berming through there for sure.
Excellent, thank you.
Pat?
Hours of operation? I was more curious on like the car wash, is it like 24 hour?
Yeah, typically with the gas and wash operations, the convenience store and the gas pumps are 24/7. The car wash is typically starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, running till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And the convenience store with the drive-up food service, we're looking at a Dunkin' Donuts, so obviously most of our business is going to be early in the morning, and it usually phases out by noon, 1 o'clock in relation to the Dunkin' Donuts. We're expecting probably to have another food service provider within the location, but that hasn't been decided upon at the moment.
Are you planning on having a liquor license, with beer and liquor sales here?
We're going to be seeking a liquor license for the sale of packaged liquor, no on-premises consumption, and we're also going to the state of Illinois to apply for a gaming license.
Gaming license, okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I thought Mr. Adler's request was a reasonable request in regard to the border that he has. You know, my concern isn't so much noise, but definitely light pollution, not from the lights from the canopies, but from cars. Somebody's going to be at night turning towards his house, and I think a fence or something is a reasonable request to go ahead and block that type of light pollution, so he's not kind of getting a constant sweep of headlights onto his property.
Yeah, typically, by the time we get done designing these, and, you know, we obviously haven't gotten to the final engineering stages yet, but typically by the time everything's designed, we do have enough berming and grade change on property to protect neighbors and keep the light from the cars from going off-site. In terms of the on-site fixed lighting, the canopy lighting is all recessed. It shoots downward. We don't have a problem with spillover, and we're not allowed to spill any light off the site onto the adjoining properties. So
Right, well, our municipal ordinance says that you cannot, just for Mr. Adler's, it has to end at the property line.
It's called zero looms at lot line.
Yeah, at the lot line. So that is part of our codes that they're going to have to be
and
required.
I believe that's pretty typical with every community.
Yeah.
Whenever we do a project, there's always a photometric plan that shows that there's no light spillage onto adjoining properties. But Brian can address that in more detail.
Yeah, we will have to have a photometric plan prepared. You know, as Chris mentioned, it's LED lighting, so it's you know, it's direct cut-off LED lighting. You know, we've had several projects where, you know, that's come up, and we've gotten some pictures even of it as it's been constructed, and you can physically see the light, and then you can see the dark behind the light. I mean, it works. You know, it's not like the old lighting back from 20 years ago when there was, you know, halogen lights, and you know, you could see the station from a mile away. That's just not the case with this LED lighting anymore.
And then the only other question I have would be for the design architect. I know at the 159th and Gauger store, at the car wash, there also is a dog wash station, which I use all the time, okay? So, is that in the plans?
It is.
Okay. I just came from there earlier today.
Aaron's not going to the car wash, he's going to the dog wash. Any other questions or comments? Bill?
Yeah, this is going to be connected to the city's water main and sanitary sewer. How far away is it from the location?
What was the last question about the location, like how far it is from the sanitary and the main currently?
Yeah, I mean, is it 100 feet, 1,000 feet? How far away?
It's right across Gauger. So the water main and the sanitary are both stubbed as part of the Heritage Crossing development. So they just have to go, they have to directional bore across Gauger to connect to both of those.
Just on the east side of the street?
Correct.
Okay, and now obviously a car wash is going to have a considerable consumption of water and sanitary discharge. Do we have the capacity for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Sir, come back up. Come on up. Have we answered your questions?
Yeah, and raised a couple more.
Okay.
Not terrible. The lighting, proposed lighting that's going to be cast over on the parking area, that answers my questions for that. I can't really show up here what you got for the topographical depiction of the proposed property improvement. I was talking putting a berm up. This area right now has a flooding issue. It's a low spot. All the water converges right around that little strip of land where ML Realty owns. I see that they have a proposed little basin to catch water, let it drain off. But if they're putting a berm up in lieu of a fence, is that going to add to the water that's going to run to my property, which now at the current rate where it is, that little easement that ML Realty owns for all the little trucking outfits in back, it kind of separates it. So half of that water flow goes towards the east and half goes towards the west towards my property. So if we're adding an additional berm, am I now going to take on some of that water burden and increase the water that will be running into
I can
my
answer that
basement?
for you, but I'll let the engineer answer that.
And another question in regards to lighting. So the trucks that are going to be entering the property as they're going south down Gauger Road, and they're going to be entering from the east side of this proposed gas station, as they make the curve, turn around, all the truck headlights, which sit higher than cars, are going to be shining right at the back of the house. So that's why I was proposing, are they going to put in a fence or some sort of privacy fence to mitigate the noise and light pollution issue?
Along the west side of the property.
Along the west side of the proposed gas station, that would be my east side of my property.
Okay, we'll have the engineer address those questions for you, please.
Excellent.
Brian, you want to address that, please, sir?
Okay, so the question regarding the drainage, we will have to do a full topographic survey, you know, so we can depict where all the existing drainage is being directed to now. You know, with our proposed grading plan, we cannot block any water or direct water to the west from this site. You know, we need to accommodate all the existing stormwater and the proposed stormwater in about the same manner that it is now. So we'll have to route that through our detention basin, and then it will be discharged at a controlled rate with our detention. As far as the fence question, I mean, it may be necessary to do a fence in that 7-foot landscape setback area because it's just really hard to physically build a berm within a 7-foot wide strip.
Right.
So, and it's not uncommon to have a fence on these sites, you know. We've got several stations where fences are constructed.
Well,
so-
again, this is a concept plan for,
Yeah.
do you like it or not? And engineering will dictate
Right.
those issues with the berm and the fence.
So I would just ask if staff and the engineers would, and Mr. Adler could go ahead, I don't know if you've already done this, okay, to have Mr. Adler be part of the discussions. You know, so at least he gets 99.9% of what he wants, you know. So it's it's no surprise. So if you can just give your information to Lance up here in the sweater, I think everything will be good.
Pretty much here's what we're telling you. We don't want to see Mr. Adler back here at a meeting complaining he's getting water from your site.
Right.
That's it, that's bottom line.
Right.
Just be a good neighbor here. That's the key.
Absolutely.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, do we have a motion? What's your pleasure?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the concept plan for a gas and wash fuel station subject to the conditions listed in the staff report. Ready for a vote?
No?
No?
Ready for a second?
Oh, yeah.
Second, okay. So we have a motion by Peters, second by Likens. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call vote, please, Kathy.
You got it. Wheeler.
Yes.
Garland.
Yes.
Maloney.
Yes.
Oxley.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Likens.
Yes.
Deskin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Lance, what's their next step here? To meet with you, obviously.
Yep, it'll go to the first meeting in October for city council. I don't know what date that is, but maybe the 3rd, 1st, something like that.
Well, 6th, I think. 5th. I was off by
October
one.
5th, city
So
hall.
that'd be October 5th, 7 PM in this room. Goes before City Council for approval. Thank you. Thank you much, Mr. Teeman. Okay. Any old business? Any citizens to be heard? Chairman's report. Oh, have I got a bunch for you. Did everyone pick up their code packets?
I got it.
Some got electronically, some got it printed. Just want to make sure everybody's got it. Other than that, that's all I've got. Just want to make sure, because I was in the building department a couple of times and they were sitting there and what's going on here? So, okay. Any other questions or comments? We have a motion to adjourn by Deskin, second by Maloney. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.